If you're staying home, you're gonna do some guard duties, do some yard patrol. Yeah, Newfie's gonna stay home. I'm going to a spot where I can't leave her unchained, so she's gonna stay here. She's gonna have the yard all to herself. She's a good girl. She knows how to stay. Doesn't go off the yard. I left her some treats, some water, and we're off. I'm gonna do a 12-mile hike. What's up, Jip? Good job, Jip. Let him have it, Jip. Good job, Jip. Look at this crew. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for watching my channel. Today we're going to be filming the video for Hiker Fitness Challenge number 3, which is going to be an 12-mile hike. A 12-mile hike. I'm going to use this hike to show how I use Google Maps as a kind of baseline to look for interesting things in the mountains, in the wilderness, in the forest, in the desert, off trail, on trail. Google Maps, the satellite imagery is fairly clear. You know, I've personally seen structures like what we're going to go see today, which is a Native American tower. I've seen those structures on satellite imagery, and you know, they're probably 12 by 12 size, so you can spot some really cool stuff with Google Maps and using that tool to help you pick out your hike and map your hike, etc. So we're going to be doing that today. I got my dog Gypsy with me. My lab is at home. As you saw, she's going to take care of the yard. And, you know, I'm always conflicted. I've always, you know, brought my dog. I'm that dude that always brings his dog everywhere. So I've always, you know, brought Newf with me all the time. But, you know, she's getting older now. And this section we're going to hike today, I can't leave her chained up like I did in the last hike, because it's somewhat close to the road. And if she got loose, it would be dangerous. So instead of bringing her and leaving her in the car, which, you know, it would be cool too, she'd get the smells of the forest and the desert, and she'd have a good time just hanging out in the car. But, you know, she's not going to get any exercise in the car. So if I leave her in the yard all day, she'll kind of patrol around, she'll get up, she'll walk around. I left her some chicken wings in a couple different spots, so she'll find those. She'll hang out with my cats. You know, she'll be a good little guard dog. And I'm gonna hike this 12 miles with my little dog, which is cool. Okay, setting up here. Got that road right there. It's unpaved. What up, Jip? That's the road we're gonna take to access the wilderness. Have a handgun, 9mm. Have a DeWalt 20-volt battery. Got the GPS going. 67325. Clear the track, current track. Then double check by view map. So we're good to go. Batteries at full. 11:24 a.m. 2 of these Nalgene bottles, both with Willow cold brew tea. I'm drinking some coffee over there, and I think that should be enough. This hike is not going to be as strenuous as the second one for me, because it's not going to be as cliffed out and up and down, but it'll still be challenging. So I'm going to water up here, and I'll take 2 of those Nalgenes with me. Okay, got my hiking pole, same one from last time. Salt cedar, black paracord, red paracord, some gear tie, little grappling bolt right there. I'm going to leave my truck here. I have some auxiliary battery in there, a couple extra tools. I do feel safe leaving stuff around here. I've gotten robbed before in California. That's the only place I think I got robbed. They stole all my camping like equipment, like camping chairs and stuff. But I feel comfortable here. I've never been robbed here in Utah, Colorado, so nothing expensive in there, just an old battery that's charged. Some random tools. Okay, we're going to do a mile check-in. I'm going to make sure all my stuff is not falling out. All my zippers, boom, that's open. Could have lost my gloves. Everything else, my gun. Yeah, everything looks good. So if I lost something, it would be easy to trace it back to this road. If I started going off trail really quickly and zigzagging and walking out everywhere, then if I had something open, like this pouch right here with the gloves, then it'd be hard to find those gloves. But I'm a big fan of neon. Like you see, I have neon gear tie. My gloves are neon. So that helps you find stuff when you lose it, because you will lose stuff out here and other people will find it. But that is the Mount LaSalle range right there, Utah. I think those are 12s and 13ers. Pretty cool. Nice day today. It was 44 degrees when I left my 4Runner. So I've been watching that channel on YouTube. It's like Brian's Mysteries, something like that, where he does all those hiker lost videos. And, it's all about like serial killers and just random people disappearing and dying in the wilderness. And now I have like that paranoia when I run into someone out here. I'm like, yo, is this guy a serial killer? And he's probably thinking the same thing about me. But, it's one of those things where I'm out here, I have no service. Thankfully I carry a gun. I think I have my hiking pole or my hiking staff, or I could use it as a weapon. But yeah, you never know out here, I've had one instance. This was in Death Valley, where I had to call 911, where we found this lady. She was lost in the canyon for 3 days, supposedly, in a winter storm in Death Valley. And it was scary. She came out of nowhere. She looked real distraught. I thought she was severely mentally ill or high on drugs. And she was like, yeah, I was lost. And she was real tangential, wasn't making any sense. Like where we were in Death Valley, we were at the racetrack in Lippincott Pass. And she came out on the other side and she was like, yeah, that's this thing and that's that. And it wasn't that. It was completely different landmarks and stuff. So it happens, you run into someone who's lost. Gypsy, come. Say hi, Gyp. That's my little Gypsy. That's my little Gyp. You having a good time, Gyp? You having a good time? Yeah. Okay, we're hiking here, this road. We're going to take this road for as far as it goes. I'm not sure how far it goes. I looked on the map, on the Google map. I would guess it's 4 miles. So we're going to hike this road in and see how far it goes. Okay, making some distance here. This is definitely the part of the hike where it's not too strenuous. So I'm going to walk real fast, get in tune with my breathing, kind of make sure my boots are good, make sure my gear is hanging off me good. Because this is not strenuous. Once I get in there, it'll definitely be more thrashy. So I'm enjoying the light hike right now. Alright, I'm trying to keep a pace that's not going to make me sweat too much. I have a bunch of layers on. I think I have 4 layers on right now. Sweatshirt, sweater, 2 t-shirts. So I don't want to sweat too much. And when I do start to sweat, I'll take my base layer off and then just go from there. Yeah, I think it's around 40 degrees right now. Pushing along here. Road is still mostly flat. The range is over there. Yeah, it's nice sunny day, a little bit of cloud cover, but the sun is definitely keeping my head warm. I'm going to stop probably in half an hour, layer down, water up, see how far this road goes. Okay, here's the update. I'm on this road. I've never been past this section here. I've been in this canyon before, but I've never passed that ridge. So this is all new to me here. So we're just gonna get a look-see here at the canyon. Here she goes. Not too steep. Accessible. But what you can notice is that it's ridged and valleyed kind of everywhere. So it goes from ridge to valley, back to a ridge, back to a valley. So I'm trying to get 12 miles, and if I start doing that like that last hike I did, it's just going to be very strenuous and I won't cover much ground. But the payoff is you'll find some cool stuff. Check out this tree. Contemplate this on the tree of woe. Okay, this is how you use Google Maps to help you navigate. You go into the tab for layers, and right now it's under satellite. So if you go to terrain, it kind of looks like this. Just go to satellite, and we're gonna use this road here. This is where we started. Our truck was parked here. There's a gate that blocks here. So using this road as a vantage point, kind of zoom out and you see where this road goes. So you see there's some kind of clearing here. The road keeps going. There's another clearing here. And where it ended, 3.5 miles in, is this utility section here. And the road I was talking about in the video that I wanted to follow was this thing right here. Do you see how this road is right here? So I'm just using that as an aid to help me navigate. And another thing you can tell is this is all wild. Check this out. This is old rancher fence, abandoned. No cattle guard here. What you can see here is that this canyon opens up on this side now too. So I have big draws on both sides. Excuse me. So this area right here, definitely wild, because there's no roads coming in from this side here, and it's kind of nestled in. So that's a cool spot to explore. Even that plateau up there would be nice to explore. But I'm kind of stuck on this side because I want to show you that Native American tower that's hidden in that wilderness section over there. Okay, update. It's 12:55. My GPS is at 3.5 miles. I'm at the end of this road here, which I'll show you on Google Maps after I get home, where I looked at this area on satellite and it looks like the road ends here, and it does, this utility road. But there's an old road that connects back there, and I can only see that on satellite. Like here, if I was going blind without that satellite imagery, I would probably pick just descend in the canyon and kind of work my way back the long way. But now that I know there's an old road back there, you know, it may be an easier jaunt to kind of just go back there, and hopefully it looks like that road goes into the canyon, but you never know. It could be, it could be multiple roads. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to water up. I took off some layers. I had 2 t-shirts, a sweater, and a sweatshirt. So I'm going to drop down to a sweater. Okay, I've been in the off-trailing here looking for that road, that mystery road, and I think this is it right here. Yeah, this looks like some kind of road. Again, not marked, but visible on satellite imagery. Yeah, definitely it looks like
It was cleared probably a long time ago and then reclaimed by the BLM, public land people. Which is nice because I tell you, this section here is incredibly thick with deadwood, standing dead, and brush and live trees. So I'm enjoying this wilderness road here for sure. All right, hiking this road. Definitely utilize the roads if you can. If there's mud off trail, it'll save you a lot of time. You look at all that work it took to clear all this out, you know, all these junipers, all these pinon, all these heavy hardwoods. And this road, I think, ends somewhere here. And then it connects down to that canyon. So I'm getting cliffed out here on all sides. So I'm going to have to find a way down. And on satellite imagery, it looked like it goes further and then it kind of swings east or left as I'm hiking this way. So I'm going to explore that side, look for a way down, and keep my eyes out here. I haven't seen any tracks. A lot of times, even far in, you'll see cattle track everywhere. But here it looks pretty virgin. Everything is unmarked. So high probability we'll find something cool here. And my goal today is to find that Native American tower in the wilderness. So we'll keep an eye out for that. This is what it looks like from up here. Yeah, lots of up and down, lots of up and down. I kind of know that side. We did that side in the first hike. Do you see that big piece of slab over there? That's where we ended that hike and went up that ridge on that side, that tucked in ridge over there. But nonetheless, I know this area is far to get into. And it's definitely easier to take this road in than to do that backside because you see how steep it is over there. But there's a road over here. I know that road was there. I've off-roaded that road up until that section over there, and it gets too freaking rocky and it's too dangerous for my 4Runner to risk it out there. But I like this valley here because I can kind of crest in and out and choose when to drop in. There's definitely steep sections, as you can tell over there, and I want to avoid that because it's just going to kind of trap me in. But that tower is somewhere in there, and I'm pretty sure it's over that ridge, so I'm not sure where we're going to go, but we're going to explore a little bit here. Again, this is rock crevasse. This is about a 10-foot drop. Avoid hiking at night, especially when you're on the cliff edge. There's always rock crevasse. And a lot of times when you fall, you'll hit your head first, so you'll get knocked out. So you can't kind of brace yourself for the fall. So keep that in mind, protect your head when you're, and use your head too, frankly. But don't use your head to hit that rock. So keep that in mind. Rock crevasse. There's always a story on Instagram or some social media where some person is trying to take a cool photo and they go over the cliff. Don't be that person, Okay, I've decided I'm going to come down this canyon on this side. I'm going to drop in and then loop back there. So I'm going to drop in here. Not too treacherous of a drop in, thankfully. Got my boots, hiking pole. I'm going to take it slow coming down through steep descents, steep ascents. And yeah, we're definitely going to be committed. Once we drop in there, the only way out is out. So we're gonna have to come out of there once you get in there. Yeah, so that little drop-in was misleading. It kind of plateaued me back up to the top here. So I'm traversing on the side here, almost like kind of like switchbacking along and looking for something cool to explore. And you can see some over there. Can you see that? That right there? See that? It's like a little shelter, it looks like. So I'm gonna go check that out. We're off trail now, so we're on GPS. There's some crows around. Something dead around here probably. Could get lucky, could be a deer, could be a buck. So always, heed to the sign. Or set on sign, follow sign. And I think did you see that? It was diving. It's cool. It's crows and ravens around here. Okay, this here, you see how these two rocks kind of convert, there's a nice gap between these rocks, accessible. This would be the best place for you to shelter. And what you would do is you could just build, some sticks up top. And if you built a fire here, it would reflect the heat really well. And it would keep you out of the wind. So it wouldn't throw the smoke in your face. You would have plenty of nice fresh air that's not windy. So this is definitely a good spot to build an emergency shelter. Is there an egg in there? I can't tell. I'm not going to put my finger in there because my scent will stay on there, so I don't want to do that. So I just want to see if there's anything in there. I don't think there is. So what do you got? Also, another thing is this area will also preserve whatever's in here really well, because everything in here is protected from the elements like water, mud, wind, the seasons. So if there was a bone in there, it could be a fossil type bone, or old enough to be really old. A lot of times what will happen is the mud in the seasons will kind of suck everything in and then cover it back up with wind, and the dirt will cover the mud through the seasons. And things get lost, things get buried. You see a lot of people on YouTube with like metal detectors finding cool stuff as they dig for it. So this area you wouldn't even have to dig. There might be something in there. So that being said, let's see what's in here. Looking for feathers, looking for bones. Can't see anything particularly special. Also keep in mind too, like when you're in a desert, you don't want to dig for stuff with your hand, because there's a high likelihood there's cactus needles. Cactus needles are almost like tumbleweed. They kind of tumble all over the desert and end up in places like this, like ravines. But yeah, definitely very still in here. Very cool. I'm exploring this section here. Not getting much luck on the cliff house or any artifact. And I'm guessing that is because I'm too far away from water. So if you're going to set up camp, a lot of times you think, water. You can bathe with water, you can cook with water. You can hydrate with water, obviously. So I think the water being absent here makes it so there's no cliff houses here. Today is the half moon. There it goes. Moon and sun. Same sky. Okay, I was over there and I couldn't get down. You could see why. It's all cliff over there. So I've come down here, and this is how I'm going to descend. What do you think, Gyps? We're going to go down here. This was the only spot we could get down to. Everything over there is too treacherous. So, keep that in mind. Don't commit, don't get fever to come down or up, because you just got to take your time. Okay, I'm in the valley now. See how quickly you get blocked in. I have no range of vision past that little ridgeline here. Getting boxed in canyon. So what I'm going to focus on here is I'm going to avoid that snow side, because if there's anything cool, it's hidden by the snow. Bones, antlers, rust, whatever, artifacts. And I'm going to stay on this side because it's sunny and there's no snow obstructing any cool stuff. So I'm going to hug this and traverse into that valley further in. Okay, let's do some mileage checking here. Yeah, this last section has been really tough, actually. It's kind of all like this. It's up, down, and did about, I think, a mile of something like this. So a little gassed. It's up, down. But it's very pretty. Nice and still down here. There's open sections. You can tell over there there's some nice open sections. And let's see where we're at with. We are at 5.7. It's 2:28 in the afternoon. So going for 12 miles, so almost halfway there. We'll see how it goes in here. I'm planning to just traverse this whole canyon to find that Anasazi Tower. But if it's too treacherous, which it can be if I just get bogged down and don't make any distance, then I'll climb back out and I'll connect to that road. And that road traverses the backside of that canyon ridge up there. So whatever way I come out, that way, over here, up there, I'm going to run into that road. So that road is kind of like my lifeline. If it gets, if I injure myself, if I lose something, like my GPS, my battery dies, whatever, I'll just go back to that road and go walk to my truck, the 4 miles or 3.5 miles to my truck. But I'm looking for cool stuff here, and hopefully we could find some cool stuff. Okay, here we are at a crossroads. I could either go up that side of the canyon, or I can go this way and kind of check that side out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go this side. It's a little bit more challenging. It's more up and down, but I think there's cooler stuff on that side of the ridge. Okay, made it down to the draw. This is the draw here. And this wall here is about 40, 50 feet, maybe 30. And the way that happens is the water kind of works like an incision in here and carves the canyon over millions and millions of years. And the water, you can see here that this is solid rock. So the water has eroded all the dirt, all the mud, all the trees, and has left bare rock. Okay, I'm doing sort of an audible, doing a little option here and hiking this draw, this creek draw, and I'm going away from that ridge where I wanted to go. But I'm exploring this little draw because it's easy to walk in. It's almost like beach sand. And you may say to yourself, oh wow, this looks so dry, But this side of the canyon, it's completely muddy. So when this all melts, it'll kind of fill in. And here is evidence of flash flooding. So look at this tree here, massive tree, massive log. And there was enough water here where it went up to here, right up to here, I would say. Because it pulled this log down the draw. So there is flash flooding here. So you can see signs of it. Okay, going back up that ridge. This is what it looks like. It's fairly steep. Snowy, but not too muddy. Nonetheless, a lot of good cardio. A lot of good strenuous hiking. So we're going to push up this little ridge. And after this ridge, there's going to be a drop and more ridges. Check this out. Getting lucky here, finding a road in this canyon. Not a very good road, but a road nonetheless. So now we have a dilemma. Do I follow this road and hope it turns into the valley where I want to go? Or do I just go up through this thick, high desert terrain? So what do? Do I go up the terrain? Do I take the road? The road goes down. I think I'm going to go off trail and just go up the ridge. This road is good, but if it goes that way, then I'll just waste a half mile of going in on the descent for no reason, getting tired coming back up. So I'm just going to go this way. Some kind of fossil. You can see the teeth on it, molars. Okay, here we are. We're sitting here on this ridgeline. Say hi, Jip. Taking a little break, Jips. Keeping busy, Jips. You little busy bee. We're not camping here, Jips. But anyway, I've gone up this ridge here, and it's super steep. You can see how steep it is here. And I'm looking for a tower that's somewhere in there. I think, I could be wrong, but nonetheless, we still have some miles to get, so I'm okay with just exploring. And with this type of terrain, Jips, what are you doing? You're making a little house for yourself. You're making a little camp, Jip. We're not camping here, Jip. Anyway, we're taking it slow here because it's real steep and treacherous. So this is probably the most dangerous part of the hike is, you know, I'm at going on mile number 8. So, you know, your feet get tired, your quads, your calves, your hamstrings, your knees. You get that little bit of fatigue action going on. So I'm going slow, you know, making sure my feet are planted when I'm walking, making sure I'm not slipping too much, and making sure I'm not taking a dangerous path right now, because, yeah, definitely at the point now where my feet are a little fatigued. So I want to go slow and steady and not too hardcore. Hi, Jips. Who's my little monkey? You having a good time, Jip? Huh? My little desert bun? Huh? My little desert dog? Huh? Yeah, she's got a bunch of carabiners on her. They make a lot of noise. She's also got some bells. These are from the Walmart craft section, these little bells. Attached on a key ring. They work really well. Biggest risk for her out here is porcupine. There are porcupine here in the high desert. Snakes are rare. They are here, but they're rare. So main risk is porcupine. So these carabiners help her be visible and be heard, because, you know, they're bright and they make a lot of noise. They click clack. So all the critters should hear her coming before she runs into them, because she's a little fast monkey. Hi, Jip. Gypsy. Gigi. That's my Gigi. Yeah, I don't have any speaking in tongues abilities, but dog talk, sometimes it gets to, you know, like little nicknames for dogs, and Gigi and Big G, Little G. Hi, Gigi. But yeah, her name is Gypsy. She's from Red Bluff, California. That's where I got her. She used to be a California dog. Hi, Jep. You ready to go, Jep? Sounds good, Jep. Let's go. Okay, I've come down that ridge looking for that tower and can't seem to find it. So I think it's on the other side of that ridge. I don't have it waypointed or anything like that, so I'm just kind of free hiking here. But you can see how far these little ridges go. And they're always slippery because there's snow on this side. And in the draw, there's mud. So it's kind of hiking like this. Looking for cool stuff, you know. The mountain's going to make you earn it. So definitely getting gassed here. But still going. Looking for that tower. We still have 2 hours and some change of sunlight. So we're doing all right. So I don't mind exploring. But I'll definitely take little plateaus like this, which are flat. Because everything else is steep, up and down. Chips, what are you doing? All right, I'm boxed in this canyon. I try to come up here and find a way out, but it's a no-go. It's too steep. So I have to go back down, no choice. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go back down. Maybe skirt the side canyon. But this stuff here, I'm not going up that. There's just no way. I'll take my time rather than risk getting seriously hurt out here. Huh, Jip? What's up there, Jip? Okay, looks like we found a way out. Moon's high up in the air. Gonna go up through here. And then I've given up on my search for the tower. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the road, hopefully, quickly, and then junction off the road. Because I kind of know what section off the road that tower is. And obviously I was wrong here. So I'll give you a vantage point. We came off all the way over there. Came down like this. Hugging the ridge. Coming back up the draw. Hey, progress update. I've come up out of this valley. I'm looking for that tower, but it looks like it's futile at this point. I can't seem to find it. I checked my GPS. It's 5:01 and I'm at 8.7 miles, so I have 3.3 miles to go. So I'm not going to get, summit fever. I'm not going to try to drop into this valley at night to look for that tower. But maybe I'll get lucky and I'll see it from that ridge up there. But you can tell this area is very kind of homogeneous. It looks all the same. Ridges, valley. So when you're inside, you really can't tell where you're going. You're kind of blocked off by the canyon walls and the trees. So from up here, I can tell what's going on up here at least. And like I said, that road is over there. So I'm going to start going towards that road side because I only have an hour of sunlight left. And I do have lights, but I don't want to be, I don't want to be walking stuff like this when it's dark. So no summit fever, so let's hope we get lucky and find that tower. Maybe get a view of it on the way back. But yeah, this is one of those calls where, you have to turn back. If it's not safe, if you're wandering all day, if you're low on water, like I am right now, you have to go back. There's no, you can't be a hero out here by yourself. So, you can always leave the hike for another day. And, if I don't find the tower, I still found a lot of cool stuff here today. Like one of them being cardio, being some fitness, some walking, some fresh air, some time with my dog, some cool photos, some cool views. Yeah, I've never been to that section ever, so it's it's always cool to explore a new place you've never been to. It's kind of one of the best parts of being in the woods, being in the mountains, being in the forest. So, but all right, we're gonna start going back now. It's getting windy. I'm doing all right. I'm not sweating too bad. I have sweat through my sweatshirt and my 2 t-shirts. So I'm gonna just keep it going, keep it moving. But it's not too bad. The wind is not what it can be. A lot of times the wind here is around 30 miles an hour. And right now it's probably around 5 to 10, so I'll take it. Okay. I've tried to go up that way, but I'm getting boxed in with this canyon here. So I'm forced to almost take a steep shortcut up the mountain to where the road is, where I left my truck, which is going to force me to cut that road hike time off. So I'll most likely be a little bit short on the distance for the fitness challenge. But once I get to the road, I could just, do a couple miles on the road and get the 12. But I don't want to go into this canyon right now because I'm gassed. And I know it's going to be super steep in, super steep out. And possibly there's another canyon on the other side. I don't know what's there. So I'm doing the kind of safe route and I'm just going towards the main road. And I want to catch the utilities that run back there. And that utility has the road on it, so then I could hike back. But I definitely just want to avoid the steep part right now because it's getting late and I almost want to go into a cool down phase and do the last couple miles at a reasonable pace. But I'll be back for this tower. Maybe this week, maybe next week, but I'll be back for it. We'll get it. It's just not going to be tonight. 9.2. It's 5:24. And I've come up to this road where the utilities are. And I can tell you that this is where I am. This is all steep canyon where that cursor is. So I couldn't go through here. I wanted to connect to this road like that and then go back up the road or down the road, but I couldn't because this is all steep canyon. So now I'm on this road and I can tell you that from this point to where I parked is around 1.8 miles. So I'm going to walk this road to get to here. Okay, we're almost done. It's the golden hour here. Sunset has set. It's getting a little cold. I put my hat on. But we're moving along here. It said 1.8 miles as the crow flies, but I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more because it's kind of, the road's going like loopy here and there. So I'm hoping I'll be at 12 when I get to the Forerunner, but that might not be the case. So we'll slack pack to get to 12 miles for the fitness challenge. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm kind of amazed how when I committed to that draw and following that draw out, how wide it took me out to this side. Like it said 1.8 miles, but keep in mind it's down and up, so it's probably longer. So yeah, that definitely was a surprise. But it's still better than going into that ravine at night and, you know, being tired after all day hiking. I don't want to go up and down. So this road is definitely a blessing. It's not too flat, but it's not too steep either, so it's definitely a lot less steeper than that canyon. Yeah, we got some cotton candy clouds here. Pinks. We got the moon, half moon up there. And yeah, we're trucking along. Nice quiet day. Today's Wednesday. I work in the app world, so my weekends fall in the middle of the week. But this is the time to hike in the desert. I would say by mid-May, the desert is almost impossible to hike in. Too hot, too dangerous. Sun stays out from 6 to like 8:30, so you get kind of beat up by the sun. And as you can see from my videos, the desert doesn't have much water. So in the hot summer heat, you'll probably have to triple your water intake. Like in the winter, you can get away with, like I had 64 ounces of water today on me, and I drank a bunch coming up here. But yeah, 64 ounces in the summertime, that would be like halfway. Otherwise, you would definitely get beat up by heat exhaustion, by heat stroke symptoms, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Gypsy's still trucking along. Gypsy, come here, bud. Come here, big girl. Come on, little G. G. Good job, G. Yeah, she's still using her nose, looking for rabbit, coyote, whatever. She's got her nose up. She's got her ears up. All right. Just getting the last of the golden hour here. My truck is here. Looks good. Hasn't been robbed or anything. I think I'm just going to be just under on my mileage. So I'll drop my pack here, drink some water, and I'm going to slack pack the last of the sunlight. But let's see exactly where we're at. Make sure it's in my pocket. .2 miles, so I'm 0.8 short. So I'm going to bang out that 0.8 now. Take me half an hour probably. But yeah, good to be back at the truck. I have some nice milk in the truck, some whole milk. So I'm going to kind of like protein shake after a gym mentality. Drink some milk, and then just bang out the 0.8. So I'm at 11.6. Went 0.4 miles out, went 0.4 back. It's amazing how quickly, when you're walking alone in the woods, how that feeling of being alone in the woods kicks in, you know? Like I left my dog in the truck. She just jumped in there. She wanted another part of this. So, you know, by myself now, and I tell you, like, I've hiked 12 years with dogs now, since new. So, you know, I never feel alone when I camp or when 12 miles. Let's see what time it is. 6:35. So, good hike. 12 solid miles. Going up in mileage. Thank you for following along. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Like, share, complete, subscribe. Tag me in your fitness challenge, hiker fitness challenge. Definitely love to see what kind of photos you guys are getting. You can see what I got today. I mean, today wasn't that special. It wasn't like the first two hikes. The first one we found Pottery, the second one we found the Coyote. This one I wanted to find that tower, but you know, no cigar today. But we'll be back. But main thing we found here today was some cardio and some fitness. So this is the canyon we traversed. We started here. We walked all the way here. And then I followed this road here. And we dropped into this canyon, to this section. And we kind of did a big loop. Pay attention, look at all these high points here, low points. That means it's all kind of up and down hiking. I followed the side of the canyon here, kind of skirted it. But in general, most of the terrain is fairly up and down. But using Google Maps, let's just say I was checking out this map section and there was a private property section here, private property section over here, then I would just avoid it, because you know there's not going to be that much interesting stuff if there's some kind of access road to private property or anything like that. So what I'm looking for is wilderness and remoteness. So this helps a lot, because let's just, for example, I would drop into here, this canyon. This would all be fairly treacherous, and I probably wouldn't find much here. And using this road as kind of like a vantage point and a scout gave me access to this entire canyon here. So I highly recommend using Google Maps as a navigation tool to map your hikes. And for future reference, I can use these clearings here as access points. If the road has clearing and has some kind of, you know, utility or something, then it's, you know, it's safe. For one, you can access it to get out, access it to get in. But in general, all the good stuff is in this section here. And that tower I was talking about, you can see it here. Hey, how's it going? Back to this area a couple days after that hike that this video is made from. So I hiked 13 or 12, I hiked 12 miles that last time to try to find that tower, and got shut out, didn't get to find the tower, got kind of pushed around by the canyon. And I'm back here today to find that tower. So hopefully today will be successful. So this will be kind of like bonus footage. Just gonna look for the tower and not focus on mileage. So I'm gonna find a good vantage point to look for that tower. and scope it out, and then drop into the canyon off trail and find it. Okay, good news. I have found it. Can you see it? This is with no zoom. This is just like regular eye view. So you see prominent cliffs, right? Possible cliff house structures here. But if you look closely, there is a tower right in there. You see that? It's like right there. My phone is a little zoomy. But it's right there. You can tell that's why it's so hard to spot. So we're going to descend here and go find that tower. And I think I'm going to try to explore that section up there too, because my guess is that section has a lot of activity if there was a tower up there. What do you think, Jip? Okay, I'm in the canyon. I've located the tower. I see it through the brush. You guys see it? Well, here we go. This is it. Check that out. This is really rare because we're not on any marked trail. We're not on any preserved trail. We're not on any marked road. We're almost 3 miles off trail right now. And this is a 900-year-old, somewhere around there, Native American Pueblo Anasazi Tower. Okay. You can see the construction here was really permanent. It's almost 3 layers of rocks. And lots of these towers were excavated. A lot of these sites were excavated in the 80s and 90s by archaeological groups because there was a lot of looting, a lot of stealing from these sites. So what they would do is they would come in and they would take everything that's fallen down. Like you see all those rocks. They would excavate them. Then they would do like a dig for pottery, for artifacts. They would take all those artifacts out, put them in a museum, and they would fill it back in. So I highly doubt that there's anything that resembles artifacts inside there. But this is one of the 14 towers that's in this area, on this BLM land, monument land. So I'm going to be real careful. I'm not going to go up into there. I'm not even going to touch these rocks. It's just too pretty. 900-year-old structure, early Americans, pre-Renaissance. And, they were here, they were hunters, they were foragers, they were pottery makers, they had cool communities. And yeah, they were a resilient people for sure to survive in this environment. What do you think, Jips? This sign was put here August 1993. I haven't seen one track here. So, yeah, this site is hard to get to, like I said. But check this out. Like I'm yapping her up about those artifacts and all that stuff. But look at this. This is right by the tower. This is pottery here. There's three types of potteries that I know, or three types of pottery that I know exist here. It's ones like this, which are kind of like the ceramic with nothing on it. Then there's that one in my first hiker fitness challenge, that big bowl piece we found. That's corrugated. So this is not corrugated. So this was probably used as storage. These bowls. The ones that are corrugated, I think they're considered clay pots, and they were used to cook with. So, also I could be wrong too. Like the BLM, this is a hard to reach site. So this site might not be excavated at all. And the way the Native Americans would do a lot of these sites was they would, if somebody died, they would bury them right underneath the shelter. So, and a lot of the cool ornaments and artifacts are found on grave sites. So this site could have a lot of really cool, pretty artifacts in it. And more pottery here. This could be used as a cutting tool. You see how it's like real jagged?